How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Now, ever since Cookie left the channel back in, I guess, August of last year, everyone has been asking me constantly to bring him back, to bring him back, to bring him back. Well, I'm not bringing him back to the channel, but for today, and today only, I am doing a podcast with him to just get his thoughts on Battlefront since he's been gone for so long. And this is by no means his return to the channel. He has his own YouTube channel now, which you guys can check out, which we'll go over here in a little bit once we get into the video itself. But before we get into the actual video, I want to take this time to thank today's sponsor, which is Amino. I was pretty excited when Amino told me about their new story feature and that they wanted to sponsor this video and partner with me so that I could create some stories of my own. Amino stories are short vertical videos that you can easily watch on your phone on the go. I've already made my first video, which was a kind of short behind the scenes going over like the different equipment and stuff that I use to record and do my streams. So I think you guys will like that. On Amino, you can search for any topic you like, such as Star Wars or Battlefront 2. And just like on YouTube or Twitch, you can follow your favorite creators and see all their latest stories in a feed for easy interaction. To download the free app, click the link in the description down below. You can check out the pinned comment or just search Amino apps to download it. And of course, don't forget to catch all of my stories by searching for Swanee Plays Games and by hitting the follow button and the bell to be notified of every time I post a new video. I'll be posting a few more videos here in the near future, so every time you guys follow and watch my stories, it's a great way to help support me and the channel. And if you guys like the stories that I'm posting on Amino, then I'll be sure to post there more frequently, just to give you guys a little bit more bonus content for the channel. But with that said, let's jump right into the podcast. So, welcome back, Cookie. I mean, you haven't been on the channel for a long time. You've obviously been on Twitch with me for a while now, but you do have your own YouTube channel, which is why you're kind of here.
To an extent.
So, give them a quick rundown of what your YouTube channel is about.
Well, my YouTube channel is very simply called Cookie. It's just anything that really comes to my mind to do. It's got a couple of reviews on it. It's got mostly me playing games and getting angry at games, which I'm just so good at. It's even got some serious videos, but I'm just going to throw a bunch of stuff on there, stuff I find fun, and hopefully you guys like it too. So that's the basic gist of the channel. It's just Cookie. I'm assuming the link will be in the description, and I'd love to have your subscriber. Yeah. So thanks.
So if you guys want to follow Cookie, you can do that. But let's get into the actual like Battlefront stuff.
Oh yeah.
So you took a long time off. Like when you left the channel, you were completely tired of Battlefront, and they've had a lot of updates. And then you've recently been playing it with me on streams. So like what do you like that they changed since you stopped playing? Like they added those heroes and the capital supremacy. Like what's the good stuff that you liked?
Yeah, let's start positive. Well, I don't do that very much when I talk about this game, but let's start off with something positive. I will say that this game, it really feels much more like a complete game now with the capital supremacy, with the added heroes, with all the clone stuff. Because they desperately needed Clone Wars stuff. We were both very, very hard on them for not putting any Clone Wars stuff in the game for so long. So they've definitely made up for that. I almost think to an extent they might have... I don't want to say they overcompensated because I love Clone Wars. And of all the... I mean, that's what I want to see the most stuff for. So I wouldn't say they overcompensated. But it does kind of get to the point of, well, you know, have they totally forgotten about the other two eras? But... I'm kind of okay with that. I would say, like, the heroes look really good as expected. The graphics are outstanding. Geonosis is a solid map. The capital supremacy is a nice touch. I'd like to see it on more maps, but, you know, it's still a nice touch. It's impressive that they're trying, I guess, is what I'm saying. Because I really thought they would have given up on the game by now. So I'm kind of impressed they're still going. The droidicas are cool. I think they've done a lot of stuff pretty well. I think it's coming in a little slow, but they still are adding some nice stuff. So I enjoy the fact that they do seem to keep trying for this game, which I'm a little impressed by, I gotta say. And at least they are continually updating the game, even though they still have plenty of problems that they consistently have to deal with. I'm actually kind of impressed with some of the stuff they've done.
Well, what do you think about... I mean, they're still adding more stuff to the game. Like, they're adding Felucia. here in a couple months. And then they're adding PvE content, whatever that is. So we still don't have an idea, but my guess is probably like capital supremacy with maybe some hero AI, kind of like the old Battlefront 2. Like,
yeah, I'm assuming they're trying to get back to that and try to show like an updated version of the original Battlefront 2, which would be amazing if they do it right. I just have a lot of doubts whether that's going to be good right out of the gate. I remember when they did a skirmish in Battlefront 1, it was terrible at the beginning. I think they
and then they just
kind of left it. Yeah, that's right.
They didn't even update
Yeah, that's
it.
right. That one never got updated. I mean, Battlefront 2 Arcade is already better than that skirmish mode, but it still could be a lot better. So if they're going to make it epic and make you actually want to play arcade and not just to play arcade to test out hero powers and stuff, which is basically all it's used for right now, I think that could be really, really important and really, really be an exciting thing if they could pull it off. I have more faith in them than I used to, which isn't saying much because I used to have zero faith in them, but I still don't have enough faith that they're going to do that justice and make me feel like, wow, this is an updated version of the original Battlefront 2 to me. I mean, that's a lot to ask for one, but I'm not even sure it's going to come close. I mean, for me, the original, and I've said this before, is my favorite video game ever. So I don't necessarily expect them to be my favorite video game ever again, but
okay,
it would be nice if it at least look like an updated version of the original. Would be really, really cool. I just don't think they'll pull that off.
Well, moving forward, like, what would they have to do with the remaining lifespan of this game to make you say, like, oh, this is one of my favorite Star Wars games ever? Like, what would DICE have to do to step up to, like, your standards?
It would have to be mostly, like, at this point they have most of the content figured out. They just have so many bugs and glitches to try and jump past. The heroes, so many of them don't work right. There's so many ways to cheat and so many ways to get take away from feeling like you're in a Star Wars battle because someone kills you in a cheap way, and there's still far too much of that. It just, the scope is there. I mean, most of the maps are well designed and look really nice, and most of the heroes are well designed and look really nice, and the sound is really good. And for the most part, there's a lot of good features there. The problem they still have is the gameplay is not quite there. It's still struggling. It still doesn't feel seamless like it should. And if they could get the gameplay to kind of get to a point where you kind of can lose yourself in the battle, then this could really be a special game again, which, frankly, it was when I first started playing it. It was really special to me. I thought it was really, really awesome when this game first came out. But then over time, people started finding ways to manipulate the game, and it really hasn't stopped since then. So I think they just have to find more ways to make it feel more seamless, and that's really, really hard to do, especially in a game with this kind of scope and with the amount of players it has. But there are little things they can do. I mean, we've talked about the stream sniping stuff a ton. They could just add in a mode where that doesn't happen to help the YouTubers out there, like you and others who try to play this game and constantly get stream sniped. That would be a start, but also, even beyond that kind of cheating, there's, finding ways to glitch around. There's finding ways to just kind of be dumb with your powers or find certain ways, and the balancing is still kind of messed up. But they are ultimately trying.
I mean, the balancing is really bad because they don't have, like, the best star cards is what everybody uses. Like, you don't see very much variation, and that's been that way since launch.
And there's still no new weapons. They still haven't gotten more creative in that area. They haven't gotten. There's still a lot more they could do.
Which they promised.
First off, they promised a lot of stuff with it, which they just frankly shouldn't have done because they couldn't hold their promises. They didn't obviously have anything, apparently. Or if they had all this stuff planned for a pay-to-win game, I guess. And once they found out they can't be pay-to-win, then they had to scrap everything. It's much more of a complete game. Quite frankly, I would have rather the game just come out now in its current form, and I would have liked it a lot more, but I know that's not how things go anymore, I guess, in the video game world. You don't get the complete game at launch, but it's better. It's definitely better than when I played it before. It seems to have more options. I think there's little things like I think there should be some sort of like the loading screens take so ridiculously long, and I guess I get it, but it's just insane. It's just insane. I mean, I don't want to just get myself lost in battles for like I could play for 4 hours and play like 2 maps or 2 or 3 maps because of the loading screen / the fact that you have to play on both sides. It doesn't have that seamless feel to me, and I think that's ultimately the biggest problem now that they, seemingly to me at least, have a good bit of content. The content's mostly there in some places, and some places it's not, but it's still, the gameplay overall has just lost that seamless feeling to me. It just doesn't really have that. Mostly because of glitches, bugs, stuff like that.
Okay, so if you're going to rate the game in the state that it's in right now out of 10, what would it be?
Probably a 6. Probably a 6. I mean, I would have had it probably at at launch, I had it like an 8, and then over time it dropped to like a 5 or a 4 because it totally lost its quality. But they've jumped it back up a little bit, but it's not a great game. It's not a terrible game at this point. I'll give them credit. They have improved the game. I still think there's a lot of work for them yet to do, but they have improved the game, and I can at least give them credit for that.
Yeah, I agree. But, I mean, we don't know how much longer they're going to even support this game because Fallen Order comes out and... That's
really interesting, yeah.
They haven't announced that they're going to make a third one, so... I mean, they could carry this game for the next couple years. Who knows?
I mean, it just depends on how many people are still playing this game, and based on, I mean, if nothing else, just views of your channel, a lot of people are still playing this game. So if they still have like a major audience playing this game, it's more advantageous for them to just keep updating this and just keep updating and updating and updating it.
Money from that. If they pooped out another game, then everyone that owns this one's going to buy the next one, and then they could potentially get new people. So that's millions of dollars they could make versus just supporting this, and the game's already on sale. I think you can buy it for like $5 now.
Yeah.
And they don't make enough skins for people to pay money, real time money. Like all the veteran players have enough credits saved up. They don't need to like spend the credits or just buy crystals. So if they keep supporting this game, I don't see how much money there is to be made.
One question I'd ask you for a Battlefront 3, what could they do to make that game special? Make it different.
Oh, like different from this one?
Yeah, this one and the first one. Make it its own kind of thing that has a real big feature that makes it different. I mean, obviously Clone Wars was the big thing for this and the new era, but...
I don't know where they could go from this game other than like completely getting rid of like they need like a whole new engine because this one's just so buggy and glitchy. Well, yeah, like I'm okay with this game. I just hate the glitches.
The progression system is kind of interesting, but it's got flaws. You're right about the star cards. Everybody uses the same star cards, and also the progression system. It's kind of nice to rank up, but eventually you run out of rewards, and it just kind of gets pointless. Mm-hmm. It's
now
just a number.
Level ups go all the way up to 1,000, but you don't get anything for reaching 1,000.
Really dumb. The poses are really dumb. I mean, the emotes and poses would be kind of cool if they had like 50, but they have 4.
Like 4 or 5.
That's just dumb. So there's like. They're really weird. In certain places, they're doing pretty well, and in certain places, they're still very pathetic. It's like there's certain parts of this game that people were supposed to be working on. They all just got fired or quit because there's just certain parts of this game that nothing has happened since launch. So it's a little weird.
Like Starfighter Assault.
Yeah, Starfighter Assault's barely been touched.
Criterion games left. That was it.
Yeah. So, and that was really fun for a while, but it lost its momentum too, and. It's a weird game. It's a really strange game to give a rating to because some parts of it are just so pathetic. But it's a lot better than it was. It's definitely an improvement, but there is so much that they could still do. But we are kind of to the point where they really should be looking at a new Battlefront game, and I'm not sure what that's going to be if they actually go down that route, but I'm sure they'll make money. So I don't see why they wouldn't do it. But I don't know what that's going to be like.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good stopping point. We talked about it a little
Okay.
bit. We went on for about 14 minutes. So, guys, if you still want to see more of Cookie, I know a lot of you guys have been requesting ever since he left to get more of him. He does stream with me on Twitch on occasion to promote his YouTube channel. And then if you guys want to subscribe to him, the links will be down in the description and stuff. And, yeah, is there anything you want to say, Cookie, before we end it?
It's good to be back for a video, though. Kind of miss doing this every once in a while. So, yeah, I will say that. I think the first time I've been back in, 9 months for any kind of video? No,
Something like that.
11 months,
On this
actually.
channel, at least.
Yeah, it's been a while. So, yeah, it's kind of nice. But, yeah, thank you to anybody who's already subscribed and anybody who's going to. Appreciate it all the way. And that's all.
Yeah, and then if you haven't already, subscribe to me, hit the like button, it helps me out. Check out another video, and I will talk to you guys next time.
Will you join me? Accept your fate. I grew impatient.